Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations. I am Uakeisha, and this is
Tikisha.
where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I usually say that first, then I introduce us, but I just let however the spirit lead me.
Do you? I thought you always said it and then introduced us.
I
I
did.
don't know. I just be showing up to go in the flow. Okay.
Yes, and that's why
Literally. So it's no set on.
on how we do things. That's what I love about it. Let me just say that I attended one of my friend's first events, and I hate to call it an event. Do you call it an event?
Um, no, because I look at it as a sacred gathering.
Yes.
It's really a gathering.
It's
an event, like come to this, but it's an intimate gathering.
That's why I said I hate to say event because it's more than that. And it was a sacred gathering. And I'm not going to say a whole lot because I just feel like people should come. But I'm going to say this.
No, say a whole lot so people know why they should come.
Well, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say that I was truly blessed by it.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't think I told you that because I wanted to wait because I wanted to share it with the world that I was really blessed by it because, like I told you last week, I don't think I'm shocked in you using your gift because I feel like you've been using it ever since I've known you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like, oh my God, I can't wait to see. It wasn't like that. It was just like, now I get to do it in a gathering,
right,
with other people,
women,
with other women. And I just was truly blessed by it. I was blessed by how organized and how you flow in the spirit. And when I say flow, like it really flowed in the spirit and helpful. And I believe that other people that was there was helped as well. So I can't wait to come to the next one, to attend the next gathering, to attend the next sacred gathering. And if you want to be inspired and grow spiritually and just in life, with different, because we talked about different things and different topics.
Yeah, I always find a struggle because I'm like, I specialize in reading Oracle.
Yeah.
That's my specialty. But I can still sit here with someone because we had a young lady who Oracle wasn't her thing. And she still joined us because, as I said before, that tool really is for me.
Yeah.
So if you're ready to be in alignment with me, I can use those tools and I hear what's for me to deliver.
Yeah.
Because nobody else can look at my cards and say what the message is going to be.
Yeah.
But at the same time as you take what resonates with you because it's your path. I'm just here like every other resource in the world that we have.
Yeah.
God planted me here to be a resource. So I'm so glad that you enjoyed it because like I had shared with you, it's not like I put in a lot of formal planning. I'm not researching. Like I am literally going off the top of my head in the moment because it was just like, okay, y'all come with a question.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Because I think that was the second gathering. I wasn't at the first one. As friends, because like you said, someone came and they were not into Oracle or other tools.
Mm-hmm.
As your friend, if I had not attended, would you have been mad?
No.
And I know that. Because from what I could discern is it's not about people supporting you.
Yeah. I'm supported.
Yeah.
So if people come or not, I'm supported. I can sit in that space and journal my thoughts and do whatever I want in the space that God gifted me to do that. So it's nice for the support. But when you are coming to these gatherings or even when you're connecting with me, this is for you because I'm going to get what I need, whether you show up or not. So it's like, I'm not in my feelings or anything because like I said before, I believe in God's strategic placement. So I truly am trusting that the people who are supposed to come to the gatherings will come and will walk away with what they need.
I believe that's where we should be when we're doing any kind of ministry. That it's for yourself first, because you're going to get what you need, and stop looking for support, if that makes sense. Because what we do, even on this platform, is for us first, because we already said this is helping and healing us. And if don't nobody watch,
yes,
coming together every week has,
transformed our lives. Literally
has transformed our lives. So if somebody, because we got plenty of family and friends and people we know that don't watch, and we don't get mad, because we know what it's for. It's the bigger picture. When you're doing ministry, gatherings, discipling, whatever, it should be for you first, and you should trust that God is going to bring and do.
But it took me a long time to get here, because I've done several different ventures, but I was always looking for someone to support me, to validate my venture. Like, oh, your shirts is so cute, or you put them outfits together real cute. Can you style me? Like, I was doing things looking for validation.
Yeah.
Now I don't need validation, because I've looked at my own self. I've looked at my life, and I've seen how I have transformed.
Yeah.
So with my own transformation, I am hoping to attract like-minded individuals that I can transform more with together.
Yeah.
Because I learn, and when I say it's for me, I learn something every time. So it's just like, oh, I know certain things on certain introductions that I need to do to set some ground rules. Because if you got to go to the bathroom, I need you to know, like, you can get up and go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just certain things when you're coming into a space and it's new and different for you, and it's new and different for me as well. Like, I know the messages that I need to deliver, but sometimes it's the logistics. Performers have sound check.
Yeah.
So it's certain things, over time that you learn and you do. And just like with us doing the podcast, the more you do it, the more comfortable you are in doing it. And I feel like for me, because I'm talking about what I love and what I live and believe, it's not so much my words or what I'm going to say. It's just really organizing and being able to get everything out that I want to get out. And that's why a lot of times I encourage people who were moved by something I said to set up a consultation, because I can't tell you everything in those sessions.
Right.
And I'm not going to tell you everything, because let me be clear, is God put me in that place to be able to gift this to women. But he also wants me to use discernment when gifting to someone.
Absolutely.
Because that can quickly turn into the thief robbing me.
Yes.
So I'm aware of my talents.
And even me the other day, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, didn't I text you?
Yes, you text me and was just like, I'm not trying to get free counseling, but God also gives me the gift of discernment with who I'm working with, who's my assignment versus they really trying to pick your brain, but they not really trying to fully submit to where I want you to be. And I be aware of that. I have to be aware of it. And I ain't always been aware of it. And that was a lesson that I had to learn.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. And especially like, not even trying to be funny, but as the preacher's kid, coming for me to be like at the end where I add in to kind of bring I don't know what word I want to say, just to give some type of tools that somebody may have, where it may have been something that's like, what made her say that?
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you two things. Coming from being the preacher's kid, the church girl, I am so used to a certain type of order that at first, and I think this is with anybody that's put themselves in my shoes going into a gathering like that, you automatically think that the order should be how it's been in your life forever. So you start.
because I didn't even pray.
We didn't start with prayer.
I didn't pray.
Yeah, we didn't start with a corporate prayer.
Yes.
Okay, I know you prayed, but usually I'm used to where it's like, okay, everybody, come on, we're gonna open with prayer, and we're gonna close with prayer. I'm used to that. You know what I'm saying? So at first, but because I'm so intentional now,
and I talked about that. I don't know if you remember, because I was just like, that's not, we all have different gifts.
Yeah, and you were like, I'm not an intercessor.
I'm not an intercessor. Yeah, so I pray over myself and I pray over everybody that's coming, but I'm not about to stand here and act like that's my gift. That's not mine.
You were literally, because when I was like thinking about that, you were literally authentically yourself, like talking to us like we all was friends. We were all just, and I was like, man, I'm so used to just that type of order, because everybody would say that, not everybody, don't want to do that. A lot of churches would say everything should be done in decency and in order. So they would say that, if not opening like that is not in order, but it was in order for what the vision God gave you. Because I believe everybody who walked away full. Like, wow, that was really good.
Yes, and I had individuals in there that I hadn't even seen in over a year, so I really didn't. I never know what to expect. Yeah. So that's when we talk about fully surrendering, that's when I'm in a spot where I'm fully surrendering, and I am literally listening and asking the Holy Spirit to just lead me where everybody that's in there can walk away with something, including myself, and most importantly, some comfort from God, because I don't ever want to take credit for it's just me. I'm really a vessel.
Yeah.
I am a vessel.
Yeah, and I could see that visually, and I could feel that. You know what I'm saying? That you were being used as a vessel to assist.
Yes, that is the word, assist
the other women in the room. And I was like, and we talked afterwards, and I was like, I really was more observant and listening and trying to be helped, because you got to come with a mind and a heart to want to receive.
Yes, you do. And that's another reason why I'm like, I'm not pushing it, and don't come to support me, because you need to come to receive.
Yeah, and I'm not a go to everybody's event, go to everybody's thing, attend everybody's thing.
And another reason why I was never like, because I knew that you were supportive of all of my endeavors.
Yeah.
But if you come, I wasn't never going to be like, oh, she didn't come, because you don't necessarily go to any and everything. So to me, it was just like, if you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. Because you have free will to choose what you want to do and how you want to support a person. Because again, I'm no longer looking for the validation, because I'm comfortable and I know that this is what I'm supposed to do.
And that is so important, what you just said. Don't look for the validation in other people supporting you. Don't look for the validation in other people supporting you. I stopped that a long time ago. I don't know at what point. I mean, even before I fully surrendered to God, I stopped looking for other people to support me in whatever I did. First of all, because I moved in silence for a long time. I learned that pretty early on, and learned that you going to work more in peace when you do that. You have more of a peace of not looking for validations of family and friends to be there front row to say, yeah, girl, yay. No, I'm looking, especially now with where I'm going in my life, and God is strategically, it's so, everybody say he got a sense of humor. I don't even know if it's funny humor or what, but I don't know. But how he's doing you, how he's having you have people gather, he's strategically placing people one by one in my life that I'm like, oh, I get it. This is a moment that you want me to share something about you to them.
Yes.
And it's not a moment to be validated. Like, let me get on social media and say, look what y'all, guess what happened today? I met this young lady and she was going through this. And
that's why I never wanted it to be like, and sorry to cut you off,
no,
to be like, let's take a group photo.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I knew that. That's
like not even let's share everybody's name. Yeah. It's like, if you want to say your name, say it.
Yeah. I mean, everybody knew my name because we do this. Yeah. But I don't think I knew. Well, I probably knew people's name, but it wasn't like a let's do this. It wasn't the normal for show thing, which is where I'm at. I don't want to do anything for show. I don't want to post anything for show. I'm building a social media on TikTok. I'm building a following, and I have corrected myself even on that, where I probably said something where I was like, it wasn't even bad, but I'm like, you know what? I don't know if God is going to be pleased with that. Let me go back and correct it, not deleting what I said before, because I believe that we should show our mistakes.
I agree with that. And that's what I love about us, even with doing this podcast, because there's been times where I come back and been like, you know what? I don't know about what I said just last week. Yeah. Because I think we both stand in a place of we're always evolving. I think that we really stand on that.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you doing that. I'm proud of you, friend, because
you know, I have always had a fear, even when we got ready to do this, of putting myself out there in front to the world, the camera, wherever. I don't know if I ever shared this with you. Growing up in church, we had to do stuff out in the front.
Yeah, so
and I started at like 5 years old. Like, we used to have to march into the choir stand. I would cry every Sunday. Like, my mother had to bribe me to not cry.
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I was very, very self-conscious as a child. Up into my younger years, up into my teenage years, just self-conscious of just putting myself out there. The confidence probably appeared to be there.
Yeah.
But it was not there at all from the time I was 5. Yes, I remember clearly Verti would be like, if you make it to the choir stand, march through, because all eyes was on you.
Right.
You walking through and they like, look at, they like, yeah. Ooh, I bust out in tears. Just, I remember getting up there the first time to direct the choir and everything. And even when I was doing it and would do a good job, I even directed the choir when I was married at the church me and my ex-husband attended. And I remember my nerves being a ball of nerves then. But I always...
This is literally, all I can think about is the 23rd Psalm. That's all I can think about.
Yeah.
And I know in the King James versions that I think most have, it says comfort, but in mine it says courage. So that's all I'm like, as you're talking, I just see that in real life, because you pulled your courage and you still do it, even though you had that fear. And I did not know that. Like, I knew when we first started the podcast, and I remember like the first episode, and I think by the second you was good, but but I remember that. And I always was just like, you've been in the forefront your whole life. Because I mean, even in high school, you were a cheerleader.
Yeah,
Did they call them high steppers?
I was a cheerleader. I wasn't a high stepper because I couldn't dance, but
I was both. Look, I barely remember. That's a shame.
But that same fear. Yeah, that I was even then. I was very, very, because at our high school, everybody did everything. So nobody was like shy but me coming in a 10th grade.
I didn't do any of that because I let my fear take control of me.
Really?
So I didn't sign up and I've never done any extracurricular activities. My extracurricular activity was when I left there and went to the other high school, and I started a job working co-op. That was my extracurricular activity, becoming the full-fledged adult.
Yeah. I literally have had that fear for
I didn't have no fear of becoming an adult, but I had a fear of being a kid and going out and being myself in front of people. That's crazy.
That is.
That's wild. We ain't using crazy no more. That is wild.
Yeah. But I've always had that fear. I've always had that lack of confidence of putting myself out there. I could fake it really good.
And this is when I be like, you know how now I promise you, I think about, you already know I think about everything, but I really be thinking about them old sayings that we done heard. And I'm just like, they always make the fake it till you make it like negative, but it's really positive. It's positive. Like when you think about that, like the negative is the fear, but the courage is still being able to do it.
It is.
So if it look like I'm faking it till I'm making it, I'm faking it because I'm scared as hell. Yeah. But I'm still about to show up and do this.
And that's what I do literally all the time now. Cause I'm like, even with this, we're creating a legacy for our children's children, everybody. And everything that I'm doing outside of this is the same thing. I'm creating a legacy for my family.
For your family.
For my family. And I'm doing it with ease. And now I'm learning to do it with confidence. And I still question some stuff. You know, I'm sure you probably, well, I don't know if you do, because you probably like, whatever.
No, I don't.
Yeah. but I still will question, you know, because that's 5-year-old little girl is still inside that you remember being scared of what, and that also to me also a little bit comes from being put on a public pedestal to have to be this. You know, and a lot of people probably be like, yeah, you weren't put on you put on a public pedestal to be perfect. And you can't be perfect. You can appear to be perfect, but you can't do it. So,
and I think we're all, when you think about it, we probably all put, and especially as parents, our kid on a pedestal, or made it look a certain way in their eyes, because like I might not have had it from that aspect with extracurricular, but I felt like I had to get them good grades. And so that's why you driven into about activities. It was always driven into me about my study. So that's why I study and break down. And that's why I'm so visual.
And that's why at work now, if you don't get a perfect score on your stuff, you like, I'm
a failure.
You're failing. I'm failing. I didn't get 100. I'm like, well,
and it's just like, girl, you still gonna get that check on Friday. They don't even care. You about to have a meeting and she's gonna tell you you're doing a good job and you're gonna keep going. But the way I've been set up, so a part of me is still living in that.
Yeah. I just, you know, I try not to. I intentionally try not to put my own children on that you have to be perfect pedestal. I speak life into them, like, you know, you could do anything, right? But if they fail in something, I don't be.
Yeah, I have not. That's the one thing that I for sure can say is I always told my son, whatever you want to do, you can do. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, you can do.
Yeah.
And I told my sister the other day, I said, I do not care who comes for me, because I don't know if it was a show or whatever it was, but I remember this like clip, like, you can't be mad at me because my parents paved a way for me, and that's not your story.
Yeah, don't be mad at me because I had good parents.
Yeah. Don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
So it's just like, if I've paved a way and this is how he's able to live his life, don't be mad at him or me. Pave your way to figure out how to live the life that you want to live. So I've tried to come away from setting that pedestal and that expectation. That's why I was just like, if you want to go to college, I'm going to send you to college. If you don't want to go, don't go. I used to always stress like, but you got to do something.
Yeah, you got to do something.
And even now it's just like, I want you to do what you love. I want you to figure that out and create that as your life.
Yeah, I'm the same way, because I literally told my son when he was in the senior, like, you can go to college or you ain't got to go. We can figure it out. I didn't go and I do okay.
Yeah.
For myself, you know what I'm saying? And not, you know, saying you shouldn't go, but I'm just saying you can
individually, like it.
Yeah. You can do. And really, when you say pave your way, a lot of it is mindset. Like, if you make up your mind to do, it's a young lady that is in the organization with my daughter, and this girl was so focused, and is still so focused, that I look at her, it's like, wow, you already successful, because She didn't live in the best neighborhood. I think her father is locked up. She went to one of the good schools, public schools in Detroit, and she focused. She was an athlete. She got good grades. She got a scholarship to a college out of state, and even in college now, she talks to people and makes connections. And when she came back, I did her makeup for an event, and we were talking, and she was just like, I refuse to live my life the way that it could have been on that path, to staying in that same neighborhood, to doing this. She was like, I'm gonna make a better life for myself and my mother. And I was like, wow, it's all about mindset.
I'm a firm believer of that. I say it all the time, believe it to see it. I believe it. The believing is in the mindset. So when I think of mindset and believe it to see it, I literally think for me like faith and works. So me believing is my faith.
Yeah.
And whatever I'm working on is what I'm doing to see it. It's just about, that's why I be like, they can say what they want, but I don't use the cards like I'm a fortune teller. I use those as a guide. So if it's something as simple as I look at something and I see a banana, and then today we come across a banana, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I said banana earlier. I'm on the right path.
Yeah, you take it as a sign.
I am being intentional on my believe it to see it, whatever, because every day, I don't know about everybody else, but we need to be intentional. So every day I'm setting goals for that day. Even if my goal is to make sure I get out of bed on time to be ready to come to go to work to do this podcast, it doesn't have to be astronomical like I'm creating my $1 million plan. But I live my life so intentional, and I live it entwined with spirit, because I want to make sure that I'm on the right path and how I see that, how I'm being guided. So I believe it to see it, and I'm all about that mindset and staying focused. Because it's so easy to fall off, and it's okay to fall off, but you got to get back on real quick.
Real quick. You can't sit in that.
Real quick. Because we gonna make mistakes. We are going to fuck some shit up. But you cannot sit in your sorrow.
I can't even really have a conversation with somebody. Sorrow's prayers. Only if you watch Bridgerton would you understand. And then you added the tap.
Yes.
I can't even have conversations too long with somebody who's laying in the negativity or the bad, or I'm so tired, woe is me, everything going wrong. Oh my God, my baby daddy is, my baby mama this. I'll be like, you know what? I can't.
It's like, what's the action plan so we can move?
So you can move on, because I can't do that. I'm just in a different place, and I'm not even sorry for those that I just can't even do that with, because I'm like, change your mind.
And see, that's where I come in, because I'm empathetic and I'm compassionate, and I'm sorry for those, because it's just and I think more so, Keisha, because maybe my sunken place looked different than yours. So with me having, like, literally feeling like I'm in the dark and can't see, versus having a little bit of light, and everything else inside of me, because that's another thing. Our stories are not going to always look and feel the same. So I think that's when I'm a little bit more compassionate with those people. But it's still like, if we on day 4, I'm okay. You need to move on to somebody else, because this ain't where I'm trying to go. And I have a few friendships in my life that I feel like are in that place where they're semi-stagnant, and I'm noticing things that's happening around that, and I'm like, that God's trying to tell you something. Like, he's trying to tell you and me.
Faith without works, you have to do the work. Faith without works is dead. You cannot quote that and not live it.
Yeah, and if you don't know what the work is, please feel free to call me. Yes, I am putting a shameless plug in.
As you should, because maybe that's it. And not saying we know how to do all the work, but maybe people don't know how to do the work.
Yeah.
I literally every day, every week, intentionally try to do the work in every situation, in every area of my life. Every area of my life, I try to do the work. I am like immediately, which also means we take accountability for ourselves and what we need to work on.
Yes. Number one, the first step. That's just like going to the AA meetings. The first step is acknowledging
you have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, take accountability. And I just believe that in this space I'm in now, I will take accountability on a lot of stuff. It's things me and you have talked about, you said to me, and I'm like, I do that? Really? Oh, I said that? And instead of getting defensive, which is the first thing that I probably would have done before, or people that we know would do, I'm like, how can I correct that?
You know, I talked to someone the other day, a potential client, and I used the word potential because it's exactly what you said, that if I say something to you and it's going to be hard to hear, you're not ready for the work, and I'm not it for you. We not aligned, and it's okay to move on, because when you want to change your life, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. You might be crying. You might be wondering, God, why me?
Listen,
but why not?
Why not you? It's not easy.
It's a testimony. You got to pass the test for your testimony. Like, and it can always be done. And I'm finally, another saying from, growing up, the no more than you can bear. I'm finally realizing that.
Yeah.
Because I used to be like, I don't want to bear it no more. But if God think I can bear it, then you know what? I'm surrendering to him. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go through it and try and learn my lesson. And I am going to try to teach that to somebody else. But I just think I got a little bit more compassion than you. But I ain't about to be listening to them complainings for forever, because how many times we gonna talk about your baby daddy?
Yeah, I'll say I listened to them long enough. I'm probably day one. Like, okay, I done listened to.
Yeah, you are. You 5 minutes in. Like, okay, I'm like, about to tune out. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I want to.
Let me call you right back. I'm about to cut the grass.
Yeah, what? I'm about to.
On TikTok, how they used to be like, let me call you right back. I'm about to turn the water off outside. They would say something like real crazy, like I'm about to cut the grass with the scissors.
Yes, yes, that's how I be feeling. Like I can listen to you for a while, but then I'm like, what is the game plan to get out of this? Because and I guess it's another thing where I shouldn't expect people to be like me, because that's why when my sunken place does look different than yours.
Yeah, so that's why I believe that we are aligning with who we need to align with, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be people who may resonate more with your story when they watch this, and there's going to be others that resonate more with me. We see that in our families. Mm-hmm. Because we talk about certain things all the time, and I tell my sister, like, oh yeah, this Uakeisha would have been, it's the same thing. But I'm pretty sure I've said something whereas my own sister would be something that resonates. So we all just have to respect people as individuals, and we also have to learn the individuals in our life, because I think a lot of conflict starts there. That takes me back to one of the questions that was asked at the event.
About the conflict, yeah.
Yeah, because I think a lot of not understanding comes with not knowing your people. And it's okay to ask questions to get to know people, because I have some new relationships in my life, a bunch of them actually, that I've known less than the 30 years that I've known you. Mm-hmm. And we built it from learning each other and asking questions and being understanding, because now I'm so aware, like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to cross a boundary.
You know what I like about you? This is what, speaking of this, I'm sorry, I think I cut you off.
I'm the cutter offer.
And I like this about you, and I learned this from you as far as with our friendship, and I'm sure you do it with other friendships. Like, if I say something to you now or text you with, like, this happened or this going on or just something, you'll say, like, can I reply? Can my 2 cents?
I'll be like, do you want my 2 cents, or is this something I can help you with?
Yeah, because you don't automatically just start giving your opinion on something. ever.
No.
And so you'll ask me like, can I offer my 2 cents, or can I, you mind if I respond, and I'll be like, go ahead. Because sometimes people, a lot of people, probably include myself at times, what is the word? Insert themselves, or
yes, we insert ourselves in other people's story. We give opinions when the opinion is not asked for. And I will admit, I try to stay in that place. I'm gonna say 90-95% of the times, but sometimes, because the way my mind works, sometimes it works so fast and I spit out what I said. Because I had that the other day where I spit out something, and I swear me and my friend went back and forth probably 30 minutes, way too long, when it was just a simple like, girl, it was a misunderstanding on how I processed it. But I wanted to make sure that she knew, like, I am so sorry. I didn't mean it that way. I wasn't trying to cross a boundary. But for the most part, I am a firm believer. I'm not coming into your story unless you're inviting me in. If you invite me in and I feel like I got some tea to spill, so to speak, I will. But I'm just giving
the word is unsolicited
advice. Yes, that's what I always say.
Unsolicited advice. Everybody don't need unsolicited advice.
Yeah. So I want to be solicited. I want you to talk to me, come to me, and me find out. Versus it's just like, girl, I don't like the way you're doing that. You should do this, or I would have did this, or da 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 da. Have you thought about this? No. Because I had a conversation with someone about not serving refreshments. That ain't what I want to do. Because to me, this is a sacred session. This is, I don't want to say it's like church, but it's my church on how I know to do church. And when you go to church,
you ain't eating. Right.
You in there, you're being intentional. So I want my spot to always be an intentional spot. I'm providing water. I will do that because I always, and the only reason why I'm doing that is because I've been forgetting to say, bring your own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, oh, that was nice, but that's not this. This isn't a social gathering.
Yeah.
This is a safe learning space where we're more so focused on that and less on what we eating and snacking. And girl, this good. Did you try that? No. So it's again and I know a lot of times people come from a good place and they mean well and they're coming from their experience, but we need to learn, number one, if I don't want to hear what you're saying, accept that. So if I say, like, you know what, I ain't feeling that, accept it, shut up, and move on. Say that advice for somebody else who may need it. Because how can your advice trump mine? This is my life. This is my brain. I'm doing the things that I want to do. I'm in commune with God. So I'm going to receive the messages that I need to receive, but I'm also going to be aware of the messages that I need to probably put in the recycle bin. It don't mean I might not pull it out in the future, but right now I don't need that because that ain't what I'm trying to do. But I try to be mindful all the time. Like, are you just venting or do you want me to say something?
You do that. You're like, my 2 cents. Can I offer my 2 cents? And I'm like, yeah, go ahead. But I think you also know, because I don't vent a lot at all no more like I used to, whatever. Every now and then I got something to say, but I notice when I have something to say, you're like, can I offer my 2 cents? Yes. And I'm like, go ahead. I want, let me hear it. But sometimes you're in a space where you just want to say what you feel and that's it. You don't want to hear somebody's 2 cents. You just like, this was going on, and you like, yeah, but it's gonna work out and the conversation's over.
And that's something else that I do. I end it. If I get a feeling or emotion and be like, you know what, I done said enough, I'm done.
Yeah.
I try to be like, okay, that's all I got on that.
You did, yeah. I've experienced that with you. You like, okay, I'm feeling a certain way, so I think that that's all I need to say. And I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I'm done.
I'm done. But I really try to be mindful when we talk about being intentional. I mean, I missed the bar, but when it comes to certain things, I really try to be mindful because what I do know is, like I said, I'm always in the place of where I'm trying to listen from spirit because it's a part of my gift. Yeah. So when I am giving you some information, it's just like, I want to be clear that you want to receive this, that you open to talk it out and go through it. And everybody ain't ready for that harsh truth that they may need to hear. No. And all the time it's not, I don't want to make it seem like it's always bad news, but it may be something like, dang, I didn't even think about it like that. I need to think of it that way.
Well, a lot of times, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, when you say it's not always bad news, and it's not,
because I never think it's bad news.
No, it's not.
I always feel like you can work through it.
Yes, it's not bad, but a lot of times this goes back to us taking accountability. A lot of times when we have issues, we don't look at ourselves first.
Yes, you're right. So that's it. That's exactly what I mean. It's not that it's bad. It's taking accountability for the role that you play in a situation, because I'm always trying to be the mirror where it's like, what can all parties learn?
Because nobody wants to hear their accountability story.
No, they don't.
Don't nobody want to hear their accountability story. I didn't want to hear mine. I didn't want to, but I take accountability for everything that I've done in my life right up until now. Everything from being divorced, whatever went wrong in the marriage on my part. Now I ain't do the things, but I'm saying, like, if I could have been a better wife, if I could have been a better daughter, if I could have been a better sister, I take accountability, a better friend, a better coworker, whoever, a better person in general.
Yes.
I take accountability and I stop thinking that I'm right about stuff when I know I'm not perfect.
Right.
You have to take accountability and what you have to accept the bad sides of you.
You do, because we all have them.
We all have them. But then what do you do to change the bad side? Well, I hate to use the word the bad side, the accountability side.
Yeah.
What do you do
to shadow?
Flip that?
This is what we talk about, the shadow work.
This is shadow work.
That's the shadow self.
Yeah, what people think is witchcraft.
Yes.
The shadow work is, what do I do to take accountability, which is not witchcraft. I'm taking accountability for who I am on the inside that I know I need to correct to make myself better, to be better for other people around me in my circle.
Yes.
I take accountability for that.
I take accountability for that as well. And a perfect example that I use today is not seeking external validation. I had to learn to love myself. Mm-hmm. And I sit here and I love myself, and I don't need not one like, share, follow, nothing. You know what I'm saying? If I want to impact and change people's lives because I know how good it feels for me, I see how good it feels for you. Like, you glowing, you got your hair, you did a little different style. So it's just like, I noticed the little small changes, which are really big changes. I know how we sit here and we just really happy and at ease and not stressed about nothing. So it's just like when people talk about life be life, and life do be life, but I don't even really know if it be life, because I be so in my zen. Yeah. And it took me a lot of work to get here. And I believe that we both want to use every single platform that we're on, because I don't want to make it seem like, because in order to impact and to grow, you got to be seen. You know, so I don't want to make it seem like no like, share, or follow, because we do want that.
Yeah.
But
that's what help you grow. And that's what I think that we need to, as a people, as a collective, need to understand about social media. We're not looking for validation when we post. Don't look for validation. Don't look for, oh, this person didn't like it. This person looked at my story and they don't even be liking my stuff. But it's not for that. If we use social media for what it really should be for.
Because you know what I want it to be for? I want it to be my new school yellow pages.
Absolutely.
When back in the day, we used to pick up the yellow. I still have some at home. By the way, I for real still have some yellow pages. Yes, I'm gonna take a picture so when I upload this tomorrow, it's on there. I still have yellow pages. But yes, I want social media to be that. So when I open up, I can flip. And there's so many people, or you know what I'm saying, advertising under one category, but you just have to find the person that aligns with you. So that's when I think of it, because it's just like, I enjoy doing this. And I believe that God wants me to live a life of ease and joy. And I create my abundance doing things that I love.
That you
no
enjoy,
difference than people being entertainers, from musicians to basketball players, athletes, whatever, as they enjoy what they do.
From the mechanic who have learned how to fix cars.
Yes, pottery, candle makers, whatever it is that your gift that you enjoy. I believe that's how we're supposed to cultivate our abundance. So I'm going to stand on that and retract and make sure my words are understood clearly.
Okay.
But I don't want to come from a place where I'm looking for validation. No. I want it to be the yellow pages.
I don't want to look for validation. I want to be confident in my whatever God has blessed me to do.
Because at this time, because it may change. Because we're doing stuff that we did not think that we were going to be doing.
Absolutely not. Like, I'm a makeup artist, and a lot of people probably, why you don't make makeup videos, and why you don't do this, and why you don't. I haven't felt that in my spirit that I need to make makeup videos. I just don't feel like that's what I need to be doing. I'm blessed with my clientele, and I barely post makeup pictures to stay busy because God gave me the gift, and He's going to bless me with the clients.
Yes,
but that's not where
you are now. So you don't.
Yeah.
So it's an ascension. Yeah. You don't have to do like you did when you was first coming out, looking for the referrals, going through the pictures and posting
every day. Yes, and doing I start off doing different looks on myself every week, and had a makeup Friday.
You didn't ascend it from that, so you ain't got to do that no more.
And it doesn't take away from people that do it. Though. Yeah, it's just not what
not your level at where your level is right now, because we are. It's an evolving.
It's an evolving, and I'm like, I just don't. I'm not trying to. I teach classes. Let me plug that in. I teach classes, but I don't. If I decide to do my makeup on camera one day, then I'm gonna do it. But right now, that's not where I feel like God is wanting me to use my gift. I feel like He wants me to use my gift in this way.
Yes.
To talk to people. And at the same time,
your voice.
Use my voice that I have been scared to use for years.
Yes. He's having you use your voice, but you still have your hands to create makeup.
I'm still
So can you create some lashes on me? Because I really do feel like they will enhance my beauty.
Listen, I've always told you, come get some lashes. You the one who be like, I'm not gonna keep it up, so I'm not gonna get them.
I mean, I've committed to this, so I'm about to commit to that because I want to be able to bat my eyes at my future husband.
Oh, come on, husband. Come on. Come on. Listen. I've been telling that man to come on for a long time. Her husband, come on. Listen, let me tell you something about this future husband. This week I told you that somebody, asked me out on a date.
Oh, yes.
And I was like, this is a good way for me to practice my boundaries. Right? And I feel like another thing with social media is now I believe men are scared, or not scared, hesitant to ask women out because of how we present ourselves on social media. Like if a man come in your DM, a lot of people screenshotting and they saying, look what he said to me. Mm-hmm. We have to be careful with that. But I never
had men in my DM. I'm not inviting y'all in, but I am just saying like that. And I know we talked about this before, but it just be like those experiences where I be like, I've never experienced that. The men be in my DM, it really be the men that be in my life for real.
Well, okay? I ain't gonna keep telling you this, but I've told you over and over.
We ain't gotta. You ain't gotta.
You just gonna come. But because of how I grew up, that's where my test is. So it's gonna always be a DM or something, and I'm just like, what? And I'm not saying I'm like all that. I am.
You are, but you that girl. Death and life. I taught that. Okay. Yes. I shouldn't say I taught that. That was a heavy reminder.
I say that as humble as I can.
Yes. There we go.
And as unhumble.
And humble under God. Because humble means think low of oneself. Yes. So she's only humbling herself under God. Because right here, she's that girl, and she's going to have me with some lashes, and I'm going to be that girl too.
Yes. But I think that, you just have to present yourself in a way. And I replied to
the gentleman.
And it was received well. So I'm like, you know what, God, you're doing your big one. Because I've always even my voice with that in relationships and dating, I've always held my voice on things that made me comfortable.
It takes us back to the people pleasing
part. I always held my voice on something that I didn't like or didn't want to do, and just tried to go along with what they like, what they, and was scared to say something, even if I didn't like it. A lot of people look at that as a weakness, but it's just a growing thing that I had. So now learning to use my voice even in that, it's like, I just thank God, because, that's a big deal for me. That's a huge deal for me. And of course, I don't blurt it out. Again, I'm a person that moves in silence, even though I just told the whole world that. But I did tell my friend, because I'm not going to embarrass somebody and screenshot what, we got to be careful with that, especially if you want a companion.
Let me tell you something. I'm going to be still sitting on here talking about future husband, and we probably going to be going on a date after the recording. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. Because I ain't got time.
Yeah.
I've been so vocal about so many things that I finally learned some boundaries. I have no problem with being transparent, but I've learned that there's a way to be transparent without giving every single detail of your life.
Yes. Or that part. I thought about that today. Even with doing social media and this podcast, we're very transparent, but you still really don't know about me or know me, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I can tell you a story and you don't know if these things that I discussed was last week or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, that was just a part of my testimony, but you don't necessarily get every intimate detail of it.
Yeah.
And my private life, I really want that to be private.
Yeah.
Because it's just like the sister circle. It's a sacred place. Mm-hmm. Your marriage bed is sacred. So I'm not about to be out here talking about all that I'm doing.
Yes.
And the intimate details of it.
Yeah, because I think that
you don't know, because I'm gonna be like, okay, so what happened? So y'all gonna be like, well, I'll be damned, she got married. It's like real talk, Kim, how she was just like, yeah, people was wondering when I got married. Like, yeah, I'm here, but I'm gonna be like this on the show, like, so what?
Listen, I want that for you. I really do, because I believe, you've been the girl that wasn't pressed about relationships, but now that you have a desire for marriage, and I think really understand what it is.
What it is. Yes,
and I think
more than just I want a husband. Like, I am really looking forward to a kingdom marriage. Yes, a lifestyle.
Yes, that's the part that I believe is the biggest beautiful thing about you wanting to be married.
Yeah, because I want the spiritual connection.
Yeah, and we discussed that one day too. I was like, I want the spiritual, the physical, the emotional, everything. I want all of that. And if I don't get all of that, then I'd rather not have any.
Yeah, I agree.
But
that spiritual is just, it's on top. And I think it's on top because that's going to be the most important part for the connection, because I don't think we realize how we create, and we're going to be coming on a close, so I'm not going to start the soul ties and all of that, but that's how we create it, because we're becoming one without becoming one.
Yeah.
So I'm moving with intent on becoming one with that person that I can connect with spiritually and everything else you said, because I want him to be a leader and I want him to take care of me. So he got to have some money.
Listen, I'm with you.
And I am not going to be shy about it. So come for me if you want. Because no broke boys.
I'm going to close on this. My mother and father, and I don't know if I said this before, my mother and father were married 59 years. And they took care of each other. It was a kingdom. I believe it was a kingdom marriage.
I believe that too.
I really believe it was a kingdom marriage. And I looked at their marriage from the surface level, but not deep enough. into what it really was, because he took care of her and she took care of him. But the way that when we say we want him to take care of me, a lot of people look on the surface like, and the females, you want this, you want that. Look deeper into that. Because my mother and father probably had disagreements, but they never stopped taking care of each other.
No.
They took care of each other's heart, took care of each other financially, took care of each other emotionally, physically, took care of each other. And the one thing, my mother left this earth, she passed 3.5 years ago now. My mother never pumped gas. She never have to pay. She never wrote a check for a bill. Nothing never got cut off. She can go shop when she want, But on the other part, my daddy knew the house was going to be straight. And not saying that it was like she had to clean it, because if she could pay somebody to clean it, he was going to be fine with that.
Yeah, it ran how they wanted to, how it worked for them.
And that
takes us back to everything that we've been saying. Some stuff has to just work for you in your way, because even with my parents ending up divorcing, I still know now to this day how much, you can see how much my daddy loved and missed my mother.
He loved her.
But when I think about their marriage and the example that he set for me as a man and the type of man that I want in my life, because my daddy takes care of business.
My daddy did too. Yeah. Well, my daddy
still taking care of my business.
When my daddy got out the hospital, he had a stroke almost 2 months ago. The day we brought him home, he sat on the couch and was like, "Bring me my checkbook." We put a little table tray in front of him. This man immediately started paying his bills. Immediately. Like, he's going to take care of business. And I never had that just took care of business.
I was always doing that. So like we talked about before, that's why I'm wanting to step into my relief stage, the era.
Yeah, I was always involved in the business. I don't want to be involved in the business. I want to know that you got it.
Me too. I want to be the business, but you taking care of everything. I just show up.
I think my mama was just showing up. She wasn't involved in the lady.
I just wanted to pick out what I want to wear.
Sadly, because some people be like, she should have known something. She knew, but she didn't know. She just, but
But what works for us is just what works for us. And I remember a lady saying to me, like, we was talking briefly about like some non-negotiables, and they were coming to talk about the other girl who had said it was like something that somebody would have been like, I can't believe you're going to cut him off for that. And later on, I had agreed with them at first, but when I kept starting to think about it, I told her, I said, I appreciate your boundary, because if it's something as simple as I don't like a man who got a dirty car, but I don't care if he makes $500,000 a year, this bothers me so much. If that's your boundary, that's your boundary. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have to have our own non-negotiables, and they don't have to make sense to nobody else. Mm-hmm. We live in a world where we always, again, taking it back to the validation, we always looking to validate, and sometimes you don't need that. If that's your boundary, that's your boundary. My lesson that day was that I probably do need to release a little bit, but I don't even know about that either. Because if I believe in the impossible, then I believe in the impossible. Yeah. And why am I going to release? Like, if what I need as a negotiable item, God needs to just place that in my spirit. Like, it's okay. If he wants you to wear your hair down, girl, wear your hair down. Mm-hmm. I got to create simple things. Yeah. Because we always creating big problems in our head.
Always.
We think of negative things and create problems. I want my problem to be like, I want some pineapple and we just got strawberries. Let's go to the store. I'm trying to be easy out here.
Oh, listen.
Okay, that's all I got.
Y'all know we could talk for
yes, and now like my thoughts jumbled. I done got so many. So then I be in my head like, am I making sense, y'all? I hope I'm making sense.
Listen, we want y'all to when you like our our videos, it lets YouTube know that push it out more. We want you all to like, share, follow, subscribe, share this with a friend. I say it every week. Share, 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 like, subscribe. We thank you. We are growing. We got to go. We try to reach before the end of this year, and I believe we're going to reach it. I really do, because we got to believe it to see it.
Yes, we do.
We got to believe it to see it. So we want you all to like, listen, subscribe. I've enjoyed the conversation with you today, friend.
I've enjoyed it too. I do want to say something, because this episode we kind of shared where we are individually in our lives. In our lives. So I want people to connect with you.
Me?
Yes. With us. You know what I'm saying? Because there's somebody, like I said before, where it's going to be like, I was interested in that. Or like you said, you're doing a TikTok. Find her on TikTok. Follow her. If you see her come across, follow, share. I'm just saying, like, this podcast, we love it. And if there's somebody who's uncomfortable about commenting, use the email address and reach out. If you even want to reach out and be like, you want to talk to something just about Keisha, and maybe you don't even want it to be on the podcast. I'm gonna say the Keishas, because Deja calls us the Keishas.
Yeah.
So it's
I mean, this is what we're here for.
Yes.
Honestly, we want everybody to be better.
And I want to learn some new things and be challenged, because if I am, like we say all the time, leaving this here for myself and for the legacy and our grandchildren, give us new things to talk about and ponder and grow. So our kids, and y'all too, that's watching it,
will be helped.
Yes.
Hey,
that's all I got.
Great message, friend. We'll see y'all next week.